So a lot of you guys have been commenting lately and saying that you like how high energy my videos are. And honestly, I don't really see it. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, I have a topic that you guys have all been asking for the longest time. This has probably been requested for like 4 or 5 months. I've been meaning to get this. I just haven't had the time yet. But today we're going to talk about muscular imbalances. Now, muscular imbalances happen usually for 3 different reasons. The first one being that your spine is out of whack. Now, my spine, you guys may have noticed this before in other videos, maybe where I'm flexing from the back or whatever. My spine actually curves left and then right, I believe. So it ends up making my left shoulder higher than my right shoulder. I know, right? It's crazy. You would have never guessed that I have this imbalance unless you looked really closely. But having my spine go left and right causes my left side to get a different contraction than my right side. How does this type of thing even happen to your spine, right? How does your spine get out of whack to the point that it's going left or right? Well, this usually occurs from lots of sitting in a chair, right? Because usually people will lean to one side. They'll favor one side over the other, and over the years of leaning one way or the other, your spine starts to adjust to that. There are other contributing factors to this as well. For example, if you sleep on your bed and it's lumpy, or if you always sleep on one side, your body's going to adjust to that natural curve, so you're gonna have some sort of displacement in your spine. For me, that's a left and right thing. So how do you fix that, right? Well, if you guys have been around on the channel for a while, maybe you haven't, maybe you're new, I just put up a video, I think like a month ago, called Dead Man Hangs. And basically that's where you grab a pull-up bar, and instead of pulling up, you're just holding with your hands really tight and letting your body hang there. Preferably trying to let your back relax. You know, try not to keep your back tight. Try to let your spine loosen out, and this is gonna let you decompress your vertebrae. If you do this over time, because you're evenly holding, you know, left and right, your spine is forced to start coming back to a midline, and you can start correcting that imbalance. Now, muscular imbalances that spawn from the spine being deviated usually are the muscle groups that are attached to the trunk of the body. So the chest and the back, usually those are the ones that get imbalanced from this, because for example, you know, if your spine is higher on the right side than the left side and you're rowing, you're getting a whole different contraction because your elbow is high up here, low down here. I'm giving you an exaggerated look of what it looks like, but you know what I'm saying? You would get a different contraction. There are a few other ways to fix this imbalance in your posture. You can get lots of deep tissue massage, which is gonna help you. You can do lots of stretching, lots of yoga. That is excellent, really good for fixing spinal imbalances and posture deviations. And finally, you can start trying to sit better. You know, when you're sitting, have better form in your posture. When you catch yourself leaning to one side or something, or if you catch yourself sleeping on one side all the time, force yourself back up or force yourself to sleep on the other side. It's going to help over time. Now, this is something that happens chronically, so after a long period of fixing it, you'll start to see it change. It won't happen as soon as you change it, you know what I'm saying? You have to do this for a long period of time to fix it. Now, the second muscular imbalance, probably the most popular muscular imbalance, probably the one that most people have, is having one arm bigger than the other one, or the one leg that's bigger than the other one. And this is just simply having a dominant side versus a weaker side. Now, Omar Isuf has gone into detail about how this actually works, but basically, you know, you're right-handed, so your body is always sending impulses to your right hand to do these fine, minute things, you know, writing, grabbing doors, eating with a fork, whatever you do, because that's your dominant hand. So you are so used to contracting this, you have built the neuromuscular pathway to contract and do fine, minute movements with your dominant hand, yet your other hand, you probably don't even use it all for other things, you know, opening doors and stuff like that. So this translates into you being able to lift more efficiently and with a greater force of contraction because you have more motor units, etc., etc., etc. Basically, you're able to lift better with your dominant hand than your non-dominant side, right? So you're doing curls or whatever, and after years and years of doing curls, your right side is getting a better contraction every time than your left side. Now you wonder why your left side is 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch smaller than your right side. Now, I'm guilty of this too. When I first started, I was so asymmetrical. My left side was much smaller than my right side. Actually, my left side is still smaller than my right side, but I'm fixing it using the tips that I'm giving you in this video. So how do you fix it if one of your arms is bigger than the other arm? What are you supposed to do? Well, when you're doing one-armed exercises, for example, a dumbbell press, what you can do is you can give the other side, the weak side, the non-dominant side, a little extra work. So say you do 12 reps like this, you can drop one weight make sure that you're stable, right? And then bump out maybe 2, 3, or 4 more reps with your left side, so your left side is getting more stimulation than your right side. Another really good suggestion I can give you is that if you're always using dumbbells, say you're always doing dumbbell rows, right? And so you're doing a single arm dumbbell row. The way you contract with your right side might be different than the way you're contracting with your left side when you switch the dumbbell. So what you can do is you can switch the dumbbell exercises that you're doing into barbell exercises, and this will force your body to have the same amount of weight and the same form at the same time on both sides. So if you're doing barbell rows instead of dumbbell rows, now you have weight that's evenly distributed on both sides. Now you may be contracting with your right side harder than your left side because you're used to it, or because you're dominant on one side, but that is something that you have to think about yourself and realize. You're saying, okay, I'm squeezing my right side harder, I'm getting a better contraction over there, I need to squeeze my left side extra hard to fix this problem. And finally, the third thing that I see people getting muscular imbalances from is that one side of their muscles, so like your chest, their right side is more flexible than their left side. This causes them to get a different contraction, obviously, because the right side can handle a further range of motion than the left side. So you'll often see some guys benching, and they'll bench with their dominant side up. So say you're right-handed, they'll bench with their right side up, and they'll come down, and when they push off, you see their right hand up and their left hand down. These things are not good, and this can spawn either from having a dominant, strong side or from not being flexible on both sides equally. Another exercise I see this happen in a lot is squats. People will go down, and you'll see when they push up, one side will come up harder than the other side. Also, I oftentimes see people come to the bottom of their squats, and I can see that their body moves one way or the other because their hamstrings or their glutes are too tight on one side but not tight on the other side. Now, to fix this problem, you can obviously just stretch. Now, I wouldn't suggest just stretching your weak side and completely forgetting about your dominant side. What I suggest is doing the same stretches for both sides, but doing them consistently, doing them, every day or maybe every other day. And that will cause you to eventually get your flexibility in check on both sides equally, and being more flexible is going to allow you to make more gains, do better in the gym, and decrease your chance of injury. So there's your video on muscular imbalances, guys. I have them, IFBB pros have them, every single person has them. You just have to work on them, and eventually over a long period of time you can completely fix these problems. Okay, not 100%, you will always deal with balances between the two muscle groups, but you can get them to be symmetrical. Also, I realized that this video was probably out of focus the entire time because my camera loves to focus on Arnold instead of me, so I'm really sorry if that was happening. But thank you guys for checking out this video. I appreciate every single view, every single comment, every single like, and I'm not just saying that. I know I say that in almost every video, but I say that because I genuinely do really appreciate all the support you guys are giving me. The channel is skyrocketing. It's really fun to watch. I feel like, this team is going to be the next big thing, Team Beyond the Week. I know there's gonna be a lot of questions that I did not completely answer in this video, so please feel free to leave your comments and questions below. I will get to them as soon as I can. And if anyone else has answers for the questions that are left in the comments, go ahead and start a forum, start a discussion in the comments, and try to help each other out, because that's what Team Beyond the Week does. We're here to help each other out. By the way, something that came through my head the other day, when you see someone else wearing a Beyond the Week bracelet, or you see someone else wearing a BTW tank, and they're in your gym or something, they are your friend. They're immediately your same team, same family. You should be able to go up to them and be like, hey, what's up, man? Beyond the Week? And that's freaking awesome. Alright, guys, thanks for checking out the video. Love you all. Team Beyond the Week. Have you reached your natty limit yet? It's had your time, MIRIN.